We're going to be talking about expressions, equations, and inequalities. We've been talking about expressions all of Unit 6, and now we're going to add to it equations and inequalities. Few definitions. An expression is a mathematical phrase, and I've underlined phrase, that contains operations, numbers, and variables. It doesn't have to, but it can. An equation is a mathematical sentence. This is a sentence that states that two expressions are going to be equal. And the two expressions are separated by an equal sign. An inequality is a mathematical sentence, again, that states that one expression is greater or less than another expression, and it is separated with the expressions by an inequality sign of greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. And you have seen these signs and used them before. The equal to sign is just this little sign underneath the less than or greater than. That might be something that's a little different. We're going to look at some characteristics of expressions, equations, and inequalities. First of all, we've got an expression of 5n minus the quantity of 8 divided by 2. As you can see, we've got a variable in there, okay? We've got numbers, of course. We've got operation symbols. We've got a minus and we've got a division sign. And this is a phrase because it's not equal to anything. So it's just a phrase. It really doesn't tell us a whole lot. We can simplify it. If they give us a value for n, we can actually evaluate it for that value, but it doesn't have anything that it's equal to. Now, what I have done on this board is I have written everything that they have in common with the brown. For example, with the equation 3y squared plus 2y minus 3 equals 30, they both have variables, numbers, and operation signs in common. They've got the variables are y's in this case, the numbers are 3, 2, 3, and 30, and they've got operation signs here of plus and a minus. The only difference is that here we've got an equal sign, and that's going to be an equal sign, which means that these two are going to be balanced. Even though this has got a lot of variables and it's even got an exponent and a lot of numbers, whatever is on the left of this side of the equal sign is going to be equivalent to the number 30. So whatever we find in here is going to be the same thing as 30. An equation, you have to make sure that everything stays equal and level. If I do something to one side, I'm going to have to do it to the other side to keep it balanced. So we're looking for balance when we're looking for equations. Also, you can see the difference is in an equation, you're going to have one solution. It has to be balanced. You've got an equal sign now instead of not having one. It's a math sentence and not a math phrase, okay? And what makes it a math sentence is the equal sign. And you're going to have to compare it like a scale. Like I said, it has to be equal. Then you have your inequality of 7m minus m cubed is greater than 6. This means that you've got variables, you do have numbers, and we do have an operation sign of minus in this particular one. It is a math sentence because we have got a greater than, equal to, less than sign in there, so it is going to be a math sentence. The difference in an inequality and an equation is there will be multiple solutions. Anything to the right of 5 could be a solution to something. So it will be unbalanced, okay, because you could have all these numbers on one side or the other, and it will be inequality signs that will tell you that this is an inequality. We will be using, again, the less than, greater than, less than, and equal to, greater than, and equal to sign. One thing that I want you to put on your paper, and on the back of your paper, like we were doing the definitions a while ago, put those on the back of your paper. Also put on the back of your paper words that mean equal. We're going to do a little language arts lesson here. Are any of the verbs of be, which is, was, were, are. So will be, and this one you might see sometimes as far as yields is concerned. But you always are going to be looking for an is or a verb of be that is going to be your equal sign. That will tell you that it is equal. Let's do a couple of these on our next board. I'm just doing a couple. Yes, you have more than these on your paper, but we're just going to do a couple of these. It says, which category do each of these statements fall in? I have a 3x plus 5x plus 3x plus 2x. There's no equal sign, so it cannot be an equation. There's no inequality sign, so that it cannot be an inequality. So it just makes a statement, and I could add all these together if I wanted to and end up having it as 10x, which at the same time, a 10x is also what we call an expression. So this would be called an expression. Okay? Now you have 2w plus 3 is equal to 23. This, because of the equal sign, is going to be an equation. And you can just fill it in your box where you just list them. U minus 5 is greater than or equal to 12. This is an inequality sign, meaning it's going to be more than one solution. So this is an inequality. And 9 is less than 23b. This is also, because of the less than sign, an inequality. Okay, and I'm just going to shorten that there. This next one says to write each statement mathematically and identify it as an expression, an equation, or an inequality. So the first one says twice the sum of a number and 7. So what I've got here is twice the sum. I know twice is going to be what? 2. I know that sum means I'm adding a number. Let's make that x. So let's put this up here instead of down there. That way I've got it above here. The number, let's use x for the number, and 7. So what am I doing with 7 and x? I am adding them because I'm saying twice the number of a number and 7. I'm saying x plus 7. And I am multiplying the entire thing by 2 because I know that twice the sum of, that means sum of means I've got to find the sum and then multiply it by 2. As you can see, there's no is to it, there's no be, there's no equal sign, so this is an expression. Okay? The next one says the quotient of 7 times a number and 2 is 10. Quotient means we're going to be dividing. 7 times a number, okay, so 7 times, I'm going to put a little dot here for the multiplication. 7 times a number and 2 is equal 10. Okay, so let's look at this. So I know I'm going to be dividing the quotient of 7 times a number and 2. So 7 times the number is going to be 7n, because we said the number was going to be n. And the quotient of a number and 2 is going to be 7n divided by 2 is going to be 10. And do not forget, we talk about quotient meaning a division sign, but we also write it as a fraction because it can be 7 times a number divided by 2 equals 10. This is an equation. And I didn't give myself enough room, but you've got plenty of room on your paper to write that. The next one is a number that is greater than or equal to 3.5. We don't know what the number is, so we're going to write an X here. And that is greater than, we're going to put the greater than sign, or equal to, we're going to put the little equal sign underneath there, just one of them, that reads greater than or equal to 3.5. So X is going to be greater than or equal to 3.5. And this we know is an inequality because we have our greater than or equal to sign. Finish the rest of your worksheet and we're going to go over it. That's part of your homework and we're going to go over it tomorrow in class.